here are all the things you're going to need to make my lasagna. I don't go overly fancy, so this is what I use. I try to save money wherever I can, and where one of those places is, especially with lasagna, is to buy it by the block and shred your own cheese. I believe this was a 1 pound block of cheese. We did use every bit of it. Once that's good and shredded, I'm going to set it to the side and then go ahead and chop up my onion. There are a lot of different ways to cut up an onion. Don't come after me. But I do chop it in half, and I roughly chop it and then throw the, how many times can you say chop it? Oh my goodness. I throw the end pieces and all the scrap pieces into my compost pile where I can make my own soil. Now make sure to be careful to not chop your fingers when you're cutting this up. Super important. You need those. I'm just grabbing my aforementioned compost pot, which is just a repurposed Folgers can. Make sure to wash your hands once you're done. It's good practice to not cross-contaminate your foodstuffs. That way you don't get sick and you don't make your family sick. Into the people cooking pot goes my onions, and then I'm going to add an ungodly amount of garlic into said pot as well. I am also going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil to keep it from burning, and I'm going to let those cook until they're a little iridescent. I did buy me a new camera stand. Hopefully y'all like the new angle. Let me know in the comments if you do, or if you like it the old way, and I will go back if you don't like this new way. The meat I'm using is just regular breakfast sausage. You can buy Italian sausage if you prefer, or if you want something a little bit more fancy, you can do that as well. Or if you want to use hamburger meat, use hamburger meat. But I like sausage in mine, and I like the spices that are already seasoned in this particular brand of sausage, which is great value because I'm super expensive. I don't plan on boring y'all on mixing all this together, so I am going to end up covering this and then cooking it for a little while. But I'm going to go ahead and skip on to the next portion of this video. While your meat is cooking, this is a good time to go ahead and get started with your cheese mixture. So you're going to add that whole block of mozzarella that we shredded earlier. You're going to add the Parmesan, and then you are also going to add ricotta. And don't worry too much with the way that it looks right now. I am going to smush that down where it'll mix evenly. This does seem like an awful lot of cheese, but believe me, it's going to go to good use. We're going to add a little bit of Italian seasoning at this stage, along with some garlic and an egg. If I can ever get the garlic container to open up for me. That is. The struggle is real, y'all. That eggshell is going to end up in my compost bin, so my worms will be happy. Just going to push that cheese down where it doesn't go all over the place. Remember to lock it down if you're using a stand mixer, or it will go everywhere. After the cheese is good and mixed, we're going to go ahead and go back to our meat mix, and we're going to go ahead and mix it up again. Make sure that's not burnt. And we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes. This is an expensive brand. This is called Members Mark, straight from Sam's. It is the store brand. And we are going to use 1 large can of Hunt's pasta sauce. This is the garlic and herb one. Though if you have other tastes, you can use whatever you would like. This is just what I like to cook with. And don't worry too much if this seems to be too liquidy. It will cook down and end up working well anyway once you start layering out your lasagna. I do not pre-cook my lasagna. I throw it in the pan and I let the sauce do its job. As long as you have enough liquid in there, the noodles will cook correctly. You just have to cook it for 40 to 50 minutes. And the method I'm going to cook it in is a regular cake pan. It's my old trusty. It's rather beat up, but it still works. I'm going to lay out my noodles. There's no rhyme or reason really on how to do this. If you prefer to pre-cook your noodles, it'll probably cut cooking time in half. But I like cooking it as long as I do because it brings out other flavors and it lets the seasoning do its job. And an added bonus, you won't overcook your noodles if you cook it all together. After you get your noodles all set up, you're going to go ahead and layer it. Your first layer is going to be your meat sauce, and then you're going to add your cheese, add another level of noodles, and then you're going to do another layer of meat sauce, and then your cheese to top it off. Just make sure to completely cover your noodles. That way, whenever you throw it in the oven, it is cooking evenly. Now my cheese, I probably could have used a spoon, but I'm just going to use my meat paws. My hands are clean because I wash my hands multiple times while I'm cooking because I do not want to cross-contaminate. But I am just going to drop these little pieces of cheese all over the place until I have a nice level and I'm satisfied. And then I'm going to go on for more noodles and more meat sauce. This is one of my favorite recipes. I do make this a lot. I think homemade lasagna tastes way better than the Stouffer's or the frozen food section lasagna, but I think it turns out pretty tasty. There's never any leftovers, and if there are leftovers, there aren't leftovers for long. We're going to go ahead and finish up our last layer of our lasagna. The oven is set at 350 and we are going to cook it for 50 minutes. To allow those noodles to really cook in the juices and to get everything nice and gooey because you want that cheese melted. Layer by layer will get it done. Lasagna is a lot like life. Everything that is meaningful is built layer by layer. Some of it is messy, bold, sometimes chaotic, or quiet. And it all helps create your own story and makes you you. If you notice a lag in between the different layers, it's because I am constantly washing my hands. This stuff gets everywhere, but you are going to use every last bit of it. I would suggest putting something underneath it, like a pizza pan or something, so if it does overflow or bubble over, it will catch it and you won't have to do cleanup later. But there you have it, super delicious. Family loved it.